How you doing, everybody? It is Jenna Lemoncelli.
Rod Hector,
And
we're back!
That was not planned, by the way. 7 Footer Season 2 is back. It's going to be better. It's going to be more fun. It's going to be more argumentative.
Wait, we're super fun. How can it be more fun than we already are?
You're right.
We're the most fun. We're the most
yes.
fun.
It is going to be everything Season 1 was, just wrapped in a nice bow in like Excel times 20.
All that.
Now, today, we haven't started the regular season yet. It starts on Tuesday, October 16th. But we decided to kick off Season 2 with a little season preview. We're going to go down the line, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, every single team, and we're just going to rile off a little bit, catch you guys up on the recent news, and let you guys know what's going on before we kick off our regular episodes every Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, the NBA's back.
The NBA is back.
The best league in all of professional sports.
In all of professional sports. We finally have something to do every day. And
we've been busy all summer and early fall.
Yeah.
Look, football kind of got in the way, some other things, but
craziness.
NBA's back now.
The NBA is back.
So we're ready to roll. And
here we go.
It's been crazy, man. I mean,
there were 70-some trades and moves made within the offseason with the trade deadline and everything.
All the drama, Jimmy.
So much drama. You guys have heard about it. Jimmy Butler is the top
The
of the
Butler did it.
What was it? Rachel Nichols' segment on The Jump is like Dancing with Timberwolves. Yeah. It's like you don't know who's going to be at practice.
We're going to call them the Timber Puppies.
Puppies.
That's who they are. I mean, and Jimmy would like that name because he thinks that Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins are soft, like little puppies.
Very true. It got petty.
It got real petty.
It got real petty down in Minnesota. And we have to tell our regular followers that the Baby Sixers are no longer the Baby Sixers.
Yeah, I gotta think of a new name for them. Baby Sixers were so good, though.
I know, it was.
They're still kind of babies, though, because...
They're babies, but they made it to the playoffs.
They did. They got far.
They did.
Conference semis.
Yes, exactly. So... we could be here for hours talking about all of that, which we just were before this.
Yes.
But we have a lot of teams to get to, a lot of news, so let's roll right through it and start with the Eastern Conference. And we're going to start with my guys, the Boston Celtics. This is a huge time for the Boston Celtics, Rod, because we have this team building chemistry for the first time really ever on the floor. Kyrie Gordon is back from a season-ending, potentially career-ending injury. Broke his leg first game last season, and it was not pretty. So we have a lot to get to with this because there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
A lot.
So what do you think about Kyrie, Gordon, and Tatum stepping on the floor for the first time, really together in a full game?
Look, top to bottom, the Celtics may be 1 through 12, the most talented roster in the NBA.
Yeah.
And that sounds crazy because you're like, what about Golden State? What about... Nobody's better than Golden State 1 through 5.
No, absolutely.
Right?
I mean, you have 5 All-Stars on one team in your starting lineup.
Right. I mean, with Boogie, you have 5. Right. So no one's better than Golden State 1 through 5.
No.
But 1 through 12, no one might be better than the Boston Celtics.
Very
right?
true.
I mean, they're super talented. You got Gordon Hayward. You got Jaylen Brown. You got Jason Tatum. You got Kyrie. I mean,
Young, too.
You got Al Horford. I mean, you got Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier. Listen, they're a very talented bunch. Last year, because Gordon was hurt in Game 1, that forced Jason Tatum to step up.
Exactly, which he did. Under pressure, a rookie, he delivered.
He did. He showed that there's a lot of room for growth in this game. I do want to caution Celtics fans, though, and not get too excited.
Celtics fans, I have heard this, too.
Well, only because we make this assumption that your growth as a player is linear. Oh, he was so good as a rookie, next year he'll make a huge leap and be an all-star, and then he's going to be all-NBA. Like, it generally doesn't work that way. Like, it doesn't always go that linear.
Yeah.
Look, Jason Tatum might very well be the next great all-NBA forward, the next great wing player in this league. He might be, but he isn't there yet. He has to show it, improve it, and do it. And we don't know, now that Gordon's back and Kyrie's going to be back, if those guys are back for a full season, how much of that will impact Tatum's growth and Jaylen Brown, right?
Exactly.
So those are things to be aware of. Now, you guys know 7 Footers. I talked about Brad Stevens before this podcast, and I want to be very clear about what I'm going to say. I think Brad Stevens is an incredible coach.
Okay.
Might be the best coach in the league. I don't think he's quite there yet, but he no worse than top 3.
Yeah.
Top 2 maybe even. It's easier to coach in many ways when your big stars are not around and you've got a young team and it's right because they all want to kind of follow your lead.
Yeah.
He got his stars back now. Kyrie Irving did not come to Boston to be second fiddle to anybody.
He didn't. And
he
Kyrie
came to
Irving,
be the man.
Exactly. Let's also remember why Kyrie Irving left Cleveland.
Right.
He wanted to be the man.
Once
and
you run
he
his own
expects to
squad.
come back into this team.
Exactly right.
And have it all squared away.
Also keep in mind what Gordon said in a couple interviews. He's like, it was tough watching the team last season because in many ways, I felt a certain type of way about them winning without me. Look, these guys are human. And there's always a certain level of ego every NBA player has because you can't be one of the 450 best basketball players in the world without ego. Or else you wouldn't make it.
No.
Right? Because that league is the best league in the world. So you have to believe you belong or else you ain't going to be there long.
Yeah.
These guys all have a level of ego and make something that they are very good at. It's all good. Brad now is going to have to manage those egos. And it'll be curious to see how he's able to do that this season.
Like I said, a lot of cooks in the kitchen, so we'll have to see what happens. And we have to bring this up really quick before we wrap up the Celtics. Remember, guys, we are going through the entire...
Yeah. 30
the
teams.
Entire league, all 30
Could
teams
be here all
right
night.
now. So we're doing a little season preview if any of you are just joining us. So we have to say before we wrap up the Celtics, Kyrie Irving said that he plans to re-sign in Boston. Personally, I think this was a little bit of jump of the gun statement. I think it was a little early. I don't think that he should have promised people this pending on what happens with the season.
So
that's just me, but Kyrie, I'm still your number one.
Here is a little bit of tea spilling I'm gonna do and let you all know.
This is the tea Gerard's been teasing.
So all Kyrie said was, I want to re-sign with the Celtics. Why would I leave here? We got a great systems, a great organization set up. Here's the thing that we know about Kyrie. When he re-signs, wherever he goes, he wants to re-sign for a max deal. What if the Celtics say, well, Kyrie, we want to re-sign you, but we don't want to re-sign you to a max. We want to re-sign you to something maybe a little bit less than the max.
Does Kyrie Irving deserve the max?
He thinks he does. You think he does.
I do.
I
think he deserves the max. I mean, that's what he...
Listen, he wants... Kyrie thinks he's a max player. I'll put it this way. Some team will pay him a max contract. The question is, will the Boston Celtics do it?
Very true, because they have too much talent. So
they
you've got to worry
have
about cap space.
A lot of talent there.
And then, like we were talking about this too off air, they have a lot of cap space. They have a lot of young talent. Are you going to capitalize on that talent and keep them in? Or are you going to give the max to your star player and then risk
Here's another
loyalty,
question.
losing players?
Here's another question. What if Boston is keeping their eye on a certain unibrowed 7-footer from New Orleans who they may want to sign to their team? Just saying. If you're going to give a max deal to one person, Kyrie or Anthony Davis, who do you give it to? I know who I give it to. I give it to Anthony Davis. That's just me. But,
It is episode 1 of season 2.
And we're already in disagreement. Look,
he's already hitting me with the hard question.
But that's my point, though, right? Is that, so Kyrie saying he wants to re-sign, he can always spin this back on Boston, because if they don't give him the max, he said, look, I told you guys I wanted to re-sign. They didn't offer me the max. That's what I'm worth. This other team's going to give it to me. I'm leaving. So Kyrie comes out looking like the good guy because he said, look, I want to re-sign. They're not paying me what I think my market value is.
The thing is, though, as history could potentially repeat itself, cough, cough, Isaiah Thomas, Danny Ainge and the Celtics just don't seem... Not that they don't care about loyalty, they do what they gotta do.
Yeah, Danny's one of the shrewder GMs in the league, and he does what he thinks is in the best interest. Listen, that's what... Danny gets paid to do what's in the best interest of the Celtics.
As he should.
And guess what? The best interest of the ball club is not always in line with the player's best interest. Actually, they're almost always never in line, unless you are the star player.
I completely agree with that, but I do think, and this is a conversation for another time, and it's an old conversation, but I think the IT situation should have been handled very differently.
We agree on that.
And we definitely agree on that.
Look, that's the nature of sports.
Let's move on from the Boston Celtics, because we have a lot to get to here. Let's move on to another team in the East, the Brooklyn Nets.
A team I'm intimately familiar with.
Very intimate and very familiar with the Brooklyn Nets, as Gerard reports on most, if not all, of their home games.
Yeah, I'm usually
in
there.
the locker room.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. So if there's any type of inside scoop we're going to get from a team exclusively, it's definitely going to be
Brooklyn Nets. I'll have some notes about that.
For sure. And, what's going on with Brooklyn Nets? I mean, we have D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. Snitching. No, that was in LA. You know snitching.
Yeah, I remember that. Jared Allen. What kind of asset is Jared Allen going to be for the Nets?
I like Jared Allen as a Clint Capella type, right? I mean, a rim running, paint protecting big. Like
Clint Capella?
Yeah.
Clint Capella owns the paint as season 1.
I know. And I talked to Jared a few times, and Clint Capella is someone he models his game after, and he's like, I like the style that he plays,
that's
and
great.
That's the level of big man that Jared wants to be. Look, for the Nets, it's all about summer of 2019.
Very true. Big free agency.
After this season, the only player on the books going forward is going to be Joe Harris and Allen Crabbe if he opts into his deal at the end of the year, which he probably will. They're going to have a lot of cap space.
Yeah.
They can sign 2 max players. Now, the question is, who can they attract to sign here?
Exactly.
Who can they convince, and that's Sean Marks, the GM, and Kenny Atkinson, the head coach, that we're building something here in Brooklyn? And honestly, if I'm Brooklyn, I know that Kenny, especially, and Sean, they want to make the playoffs.
I think you need 2 people to go together. Like you said, they can sign 2 max people. You need one person to take the plunge to make the other because you're not going to go alone. If it were me, and I know I'm a franchise-changing player, I'm not going to Brooklyn by myself.
Honestly,
unless I'm LeBron James and can take a garbage team to the playoffs.
Honestly, look, Brooklyn's going to have their lottery pick for the first time, their own pick since 2013.
Amazing.
If I'm them, don't worry about the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Just keep building the culture that you've been doing. Figure out if Karis LeVert and D'Angelo Russell are people you want to continue to bring on to be part of this growth process going forward with Jared Allen and Joe Harris, and we'll take it from there.
Very true, very true. Let's move on here. Got to keep things moving. 30 teams, and we are on the New York Knicks.
We are the New York Knicks.
We are the New York Knicks. Our studio's in New York, so it's very exciting for us to talk about this team. We get to see them up close and personal a lot. It's very fun.
You're going to be there on Friday.
I will be there Saturday.
When
they play the Celtics. I actually had the privilege of sitting down with Kevin Knox this summer, and he is going to change this team.
I like Kevin Knox a lot.
Along with the new coaching staff, obviously Fizdale's debut for coaching. And then we have Frank Ntilikina, Tim Hardaway Jr. just signed a monster contract. And then we have Kristaps Porzingis, who does not have a timetable to come back yet.
Hopefully January-ish.
You're predicting January, which is great.
Yep.
But let's talk about the New York Knicks. Are we still rebuilding, or do we have an actual contending shot at
playoffs?
Playoffs.
If I'm the Knicks, honestly, you're still 1 year away.
Look, 2019 is going to be huge for them.
Summer 2019 is big for them. They're going to have cap space. There's a certain 7-foot sniper that currently resides in the Bay Area that there's been rumors that he may opt out of his deal at the end of this summer and this season. And
you notice I'm looking everywhere. I can't.
And possibly end up in New York. But before we even get to that, I think if I'm the Knicks, like Kevin Knox developed, Frank Ntilikina is already an elite defender.
He needs to be more aggressive.
Offensively, and can develop a jump shot. Kevin Knox improves. Can we see Kristaps come back and be healthy? You do that, you get your draft pick again this summer. You sign a free agent or 2. Woo! Look out!
Yes,
look out!
Free agency in 2019 is going to be huge for the Knicks.
Look out.
I don't think they should rush Kristaps Porzingis.
No, definitely
not.
I
think they should let Kevin Knox have his time. I think he's really going to change the team on both ends of the floor.
He's a rookie, and with Kristaps not being there, let him go through his lumps. Let him go through the ups and downs. Let him have the ball in crunch time, and let him grow.
So
and we'll see how it develops.
Who's stepping in for Kristaps this season?
It's going to be by committee. I mean, they have a lot of.
How confident are you?
In them making the playoffs?
In his shoes that he's filling.
No, I'm not. No. Look, this season's about Kevin Knox as a rookie, Frank making his growth. Look, Tim Hardaway is probably here for the duration of that contract. I don't know if you're going to be able to move it.
He's making a
ton of money.
He's securing the bag.
So the question is, Tim Hardaway Jr. is what he is as a player, right? Yeah. You got Trey Burke. You got a lot of sort of mismatched pieces. They did just waive Joakim Noah, which is a good sign in terms of this.
That was dragged on.
In terms of cap space going forward next summer and beyond.
And we haven't even talked about Kanter.
Listen, Enes Kanter is one of the more interesting guys in the NBA.
He's definitely one of the most unique.
I would say,
personality-wise, loves social media.
And, before we move on, what is going on in his homeland of Turkey?
Exactly.
And like, I mean, that's like serious.
Well,
like,
apparently he
world
might not
issues.
be able to travel with the team come January.
Yeah.
Because
it's
of some legal issues and
it's
things like that.
It's a shame because Enes seems like a really nice kid and loves playing basketball, loves his team, and you could tell everywhere he goes, even back in his Oklahoma City days, because he can't get to spend the time with his actual family. Yeah. His basketball team is his family, and he loves them, and it's such a communal thing for him.
It's definitely an emotional time. Yeah. It definitely is. Okay, we got to wrap that up because we have to move on to the Philadelphia 76ers, who I think are one of the most exciting teams to watch throughout the entire NBA, especially this season, coming off of
awesome playoff
run. A monster season, especially.
But you
for
said I
Ben
can't
Simmons.
call them the Baby Sixers anymore.
You can't call them the Baby Sixers anymore. They had a nice playoff run.
They're still
Ben
babies.
Simmons is Rookie of the Year. Still love you, DM.
Donovan Mitchell, you heard what she said. Okay.
Still love you, Donovan. Still love you. Got mad love. But I mean, it is what it is. He's Rookie of the Year. Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
I mean, I spoke to Joel Embiid over the summer, and he said that playoff run, that loss. Yeah. Where he wore the mask and everything because of his face, was one of the hardest things he's ever gone through. Yeah. He was really emotional after it. He was super in his feelings, and he's
with Drake making albums.
I mean, who isn't with Drake? We know DeMar was.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll talk about Toronto.
Story for another time. But yeah, so let's get back to the topic at hand. Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah. It's exciting because we're going to see Markelle Fultz return. Yeah. Or debut.
Well, return.
I mean, he looked good in the preseason. I know it's preseason. Everybody tells me to, calm down.
Cool your jets.
Hey, I mean, we're seeing the #1 draft pick in 2017.
Look.
I mean, come on. It's exciting.
I think it's interesting what Philly's done, right? Moving JJ Redick to the bench. And
what do you think about that?
Well, I don't love it because JJ Redick is a good shooter, and
they need him on the offensive end.
Yeah, and that opens up the floor and spacing. Look,
exactly, and he can knock down open shots.
Right? Who? You got Markelle,
Ben Simmons.
Unless
Ben Simmons has been working on his shot, then I'm not gonna hate him.
Rocco. I mean,
I know.
The question I have is, when did Ben and Kendall break up?
Oh,
Kendall Jenner.
Are you gonna do that?
No, I'm just curious. When did they break up?
Honestly, I don't know. It just fizzled. It wasn't really.
Yeah, but
they could still be dating.
No, isn't she dating Anwar Hadid or whatever his name is?
I mean, they've been seen everywhere, but they're also really good friends. Entertainment meets the NBA.
That's what we do. But that's what we do. I haven't seen anything on Instagram with Kendall included in a Ben picture since the spring.
So I would say it's fizzled right now. I mean, it's the season. I mean, if Ben knows what he's doing, he's not going to do this.
So the question is he working on his jump shot this summer?
Let's pray.
Right? Because if he was doing that, because he has a credible jumper, or the threat of even just shooting, period.
I know.
That helps them so much.
He is going to be a valuable weapon extending their playoff run, because I'm going to say it right now, I think they're making the playoffs.
Of course they are. They're definitely making the playoffs.
But I think he's going to be an outstanding lethal weapon if he has his shot down.
Or just the threat of, I'm going to shoot. He didn't shoot at all last year.
Because he knew he couldn't.
So if he even takes shots now,
shoot your shot.
Shoot
your shot, Ben. Shoot your shot. Let's move on, because this next one has got me in my feelings. Toronto Raptors. Oh my God. I never wanted to go to Canada so bad in my life. Honestly, put me on a one-way ticket there, and I'll just go hang with Kawhi. But he probably wouldn't talk a lot.
Kawhi would say a whole lot.
Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry.
Good job.
Kyle Lowry, as you all know.
You've been pronouncing his name wrong for years. It's not Kyle.
Yep.
It's Kyle.
It's Kyle. It's not Kyle, so it's not 2 syllables, it's Kyle.
It's Kyle.
Now you cross between sounding like you have an accent or you're like Kyle. You know what I mean? It could go to one of both ways.
Could go either way.
And you could sound really stupid. But like I did for probably the first 10 minutes, I was like, Kyle.
We were rehearsing it off camera.
We were, actually. So let's talk about this team matchup here. Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry. Now we know that him and DeMar broke up, the biggest breakup ever of soap opera NBA.
DeMar was in his feelings.
DeMar went to Drake's house. No joke, this is a true story. He went to Drake's house. Whether or not they wrote new songs, I'm going to say they did.
They definitely wrote new songs.
But that's just me. Could potentially...
All in their feelings, no doubt.
All in their feelings. We also forget that the Toronto Raptors have Danny Green,
yes,
who we both agree everybody sleeps on.
Yeah.
So, Gerard, tell me how... If this is a healthy Kawhi, because you know he obviously hasn't talked, but he has laughed. If any of you,
no, that was funny.
I could listen to that all day. Anyway,
that's a good one.
Before I get sidetracked here, so how do we think Kawhi Leonard is going to come out of injury and affect this team? Because they're so close, they're on the cusp. They just need to find the right piece. I mean, getting Kawhi is a huge get. I didn't expect it. How is he going to work?
In many ways, you're subbing DeMar for Kawhi Leonard. Right? To a 58-59 win. I mean, it's pretty good.
I know.
If Kawhi can approximate,
that's why they're close.
If Kawhi can approximate what he was his last full healthy season. Remember, he was in MVP talks. He was after KD and LeBron. They were like, "This is the third best player in the league." Like, I mean, he was right there. Because again, he can get you 25 plus on the offensive end, but he's also an elite lockdown defender.
Yep. He is one of the best, if not the best, active two-way players I have seen.
Yeah. So that's huge for them. Danny Green, again, another guy proven on the biggest stage in the finals.
Yeah.
Right? A 3-and-D guy. And with new coach Nick Nurse, you get a new voice in here. Listen, I don't see a drop-off for...
I don't either.
For Toronto.
I only see an improvement, which is going to make them serious contenders in the East.
And everyone's talking Boston and Philly. And I think people are forgetting about Toronto. And
a lot of people are forgetting about Toronto.
Next thing you look up and you're like, whoa, Toronto's at the top. Hey,
exactly.
Don't be surprised, kids.
I'm looking for the game when Toronto plays the Spurs and Kyle and DeMar
meet up.
Come together again.
Hug it out on the court.
Hug it out.
Listen, DeMar was devastated when that trade happened because Kyle is his best friend. If you remember...
and Kyle wouldn't do interviews, remember?
Yeah.
After he was traded, he refused to do interviews to the media.
2016 Olympics, that summer. Remember KD saying he was jealous of Kyle and DeMar as like BFF relationship. He's like, damn. Because those two are tight.
They are tight.
So it'll be very interesting to see going forward.
It's sad that it didn't work out between them. But you know.
Listen, we do know it's a business.
Yes, and it is a business. Now let's move on here to the Chicago Bulls.
Ooh.
Well, we know this is going to be a quick one.
Lauri Markkanen? We like Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
Look, Chicago, they cast their die, right? Like, they had him. They've decided that Fred Hoiberg is their guy, is their head coach. They're rolling with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I have confidence in Paxson as a GM and that crew and Gar Forman and what they're doing.
Yeah.
I
think they have a lot of work to do. I think they need to get some star power.
But the question is, who is going there?
Like I said, they're going to have to go in pairs.
All right,
it's going to be like Noah's Ark. They're going to have to go in pairs because nobody wants to go to the Bulls alone.
Now, granted, they got Jabari Parker, right?
Yes.
I saw Jabari this summer. Did I tell you?
No.
It was right after he signed his deal.
He's happy as ever.
Yeah.
Right now?
He is. Are we sure Jabari's good? I think that's kind of where I was trying to. Are we sure he's good?
I don't think we know. I think we're on the.
We're gonna Chicago Bulls fans. We're gonna get to find out. He's gonna get what he wanted because part of the reason why he left Milwaukee was Giannis stole the team from him when he was hurt. But I mean, Giannis is.
Your talent steals the team.
Right, yes.
So Jabari Parker needed to step up to the plate, and if he didn't, then he could
not. I mean, Giannis
it's
is
your
by far a better
talent
player.
that steals it. KD didn't come in and be like, "What's up?"
Right. Giannis is just better than you. So that's just how that works.
I said KD. Oh my God, Giannis. Sorry.
Giannis is just better. So that's just how that works. So it'll be interesting to see how that works with Jabari.
Very true. Let's wrap those up.
You're done. You're done with the.
I'm done with the Bulls. They got to show us what's up on the floor, and until then, I don't got a lot to say.
Done and done.
This is the next topic that I'm very interested
Wait, back to the Bulls really quick, really quick.
Okay.
I do like a lot Wendell Carter Jr. I think you know.
Yep, exceptional.
That's a really good pick. Again, Lauri Markkanen, Wendell.
It's going to be one of those John Collins situations with the Hawks where people are going to sleep on him because nobody's going to be really checking out the Bulls. Right. You need help, and then that's when
I'm gonna commit to watching the Bulls the first 12 games on League Pass because I'll know within the first 12 games.
First 12.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment to watch the Bulls.
I'm gonna
12 games.
I want to see Jabari. As I said, I saw him this summer, and I'll leave it there for now.
Okay.
We'll talk about it more, I'm sure, as this season of 7-Footers goes on. Which, by the way, 7-Footers fans, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 7-FootersPod.
At 7-FootersPod, yes, the number 7.
The number 7, yes.
We are there posting updates all the time, keeping you guys posted, and as you know, we're here every single Wednesday. And now we're starting to go live before our episodes because we want to.
And we're going live during our episodes.
We are going live.
Someone's selling champagne. Something Jabari Parker could help a contending team in the second half. Champagne, I will say this again about Jabari. Let's watch the first 12 games of the Chicago Bulls, and then you tell me what we think about Jabari Parker. Because
exactly, now we're gonna shut the door on that conversation.
Enough of the Bulls for now.
Yes, enough of the Bulls.
Thanks for the follow, Champagne.
Yes,
we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Amazing, and we're gonna follow you back. So, moving on here to a very intriguing team that is in a very intriguing time, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The LeBrons? Oh, no, he don't play there no more.
No, he decided to fly across country and join the West, but we'll get to that very soon. Anyway, Cleveland Cavaliers, this is a very interesting topic. There's going to be so much conversation around the Cavs this season because Ty Lue, for the first time, is coaching a non-LeBron team in a while, and, you know, the playoffs may be a little bit harder to make on a Kevin Love run team. And that's not a shot to Kevin Love.
Really? Sounds like a shot to me.
No. I'm just saying, this is the first time he's having a Kevin Love run team.
Yeah.
Okay? So, you have your veterans on there, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson. It's a fairly young team, though. So talk to me a little bit on, are they going to even make the playoffs? Because it's going to be a very different transition for them, but I have Ty Lue's response that I thought was amazing.
This is the Eastern Conference, right? Which is now starting to get top-heavy, right? Like, Boston's very good.
Oh, yeah.
Philly's very good.
Yeah.
The Raptors are very good.
Yeah.
After that, we got... Oh, wait, no.
I like that. Was it?
We're doing Milwaukee, so I'm gonna put Milwaukee in that group with them. So I'm gonna say Boston and Toronto and Philly are probably a class above, but I think of those teams, Milwaukee's got the player with probably the biggest upside. But we will get to Milwaukee later.
Yeah, we will get there
soon.
Team centered around Love. I want to talk about Kevin Love.
Everyone seems to forget that this was an all-NBA guy in Minnesota. 23 and 15. Yes, I know that was a while ago. But when he got to Cleveland, LeBron was the sun in that universe. And everyone who plays with LeBron has to adjust their game to fit with him. And in many instances, I felt like Kevin Love was not being used properly. This is a guy who's a tremendous outlet passer, a great rebounder, and a great shooter. Now, I think Ty Lue can utilize his skills, and he can be the featured guy in this offense.
Well, he's going to have to.
Oh, yeah. And I think, look, it'll be interesting to see him carry that load again. I'm very curious to see a Ty Lue coach team led by Kevin Love. Listen, you got Jordan Clarkson, you got Rodney Hood, you got J.R. Smith, you got Tristan Thompson, you got rookie Colin Sexton. I'm
very excited to see Colin Sexton on the Cavaliers this season. I think he showed out.
Got my man Shetty Osman. You know, I'm curious to see
showed out in the preseason.
What they look like.
Yeah.
Look, they're better than the Nets and Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No,
I mean,
listen, there's a difference in a team when you have guys like Love, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, who have been finals contenders for the past few years.
They're playoff guys.
They're playoff guys. They know how to play at a higher level.
Finals. They've been to the finals.
Exactly. So it's different when you're surrounded by these kind of guys. Hey, we might all be surprised by the Cavaliers this season.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different team. We're going to be, in our feelings a little bit sometimes, but Ty Lue is ready.
Yeah.
He's ready.
I want to see Ty Lue coach a team, And to let people know, hey, I can actually coach. I know that I had LeBron before, but I can coach. I think Ty Lue will do a great job.
This is also going to be a big time for Ty Lue.
Yeah.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on, and I think you're going to get a kick out of this one. The Detroit Pistons.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh, I think he forgot we were on air. The Detroit Pistons, Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, Dwayne Casey's coaching debut after being fired by the Toronto Raptors, and after he received the Coach of the Year award.
Well, look.
It's going to be interesting for Dwayne Casey.
It is.
And I'm teeing up the conversation around Dwayne Casey because I really don't know what to say right now about
that rosters are not very good.
The Detroit Pistons.
Here's a question. Is Blake Griffin still a star?
Whoa. First of all.
I'm
for the
asking.
Blake Griffin fans.
I'm just asking.
Second of all, it's a good question. It's something we should be talking about.
Is Blake Griffin still...
Is Blake Griffin a superstar? Is he that Rookie of the Year caliber player that we saw many moons ago? I mean...
All right. You got Blake, you got Andre Drummond, you got Reggie Jackson, you have Stanley Johnson.
I think there's immense talent in Andre Drummond, and I think it's going to be a struggle for him this year because he doesn't have help.
Except he had,
That's just what I'm saying.
Andre, to me, is an empty stats on a bad team guy, right? Grabbing his 20-something rebounds, but, the team does nothing.
That was a good way to put it.
Right? Good stats, bad team.
Yeah. I think there's going to be moves made in Detroit after this season if all doesn't go at least semi-well.
I think what we learned about Detroit is when you have one person who's no longer there, Stan Van Gundy, be your coach and GM, that's not a recipe for success. It's just not.
We also need to talk about, too, congratulations are in order for Stan Van Gundy, who actually joined the TNT broadcast team.
Was it TNT or ESPN?
Was it? I don't know. ESPN or TNT. Either one, we will see him commentating on the NBA. So he didn't leave, kids. He did not leave.
He didn't leave the basketball world. He's just on TV now.
Exactly. Let's move on because we need to talk about the Indiana Pacers and Victor Oladipo, who has the voice of an angel. Catch him on the Shop on Friday, anybody? If not, good episode.
What a great season last year by Victor Oladipo.
Victor Oladipo is only going to get better.
He is. The question is, though, are we so sure that, again, that idea of linear progression, is Indiana going to win 5 more games and be in the 50s? I have confidence that Victor will do what he has to do.
Victor will do his job. It depends if everybody else is going to show up to do their job.
Does Miles Turner make a leap?
Miles Turner better make a leap.
Well, that more so than Victor.
He's due for a leap.
More so than Victor, Miles Turner is who matters.
Miles Turner needs to show
because
out. We're not concerned about Victor.
That's the thing. I know what Victor's going to do. Victor needs help carrying the load.
Exactly.
If Miles Turner can make a jump, that's going to go a huge way in Indiana. Look, yes, we know that last year's Cavaliers team was not very good, but Indiana took them to 7 games.
Very true. And they gave them a run for their money. So we shouldn't sleep on Indiana. And I also think that Miles knows it's time to step up. He's a confident player. He's outspoken.
He needs to step his game up.
He's aggressive on the end of the ball.
And they also signed Tyreke Evans in the offseason. And Tyreke is, Tyreke. But he shot better from 3 the last couple of years. And ultimately, that's one thing that they need. They need 3-point shooters to open up more spacing on that team. And if Tyreke can do that, sometimes Victor can go off ball and do some other things and really help that squad out. And they have Domantas Sabonis, who's a good young player. There are pieces in Indiana. If Miles does not make that leap, though, don't be surprised if they have the same record as last year or even slide 3 or 4 games backward.
Yeah.
And that could be the difference between doing something in the playoffs and being a bottom seed to being out. So.
Yep, absolutely. I completely agree. Do not disagree at all on that one. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Woo!
And Giannis Antetokounmpo with supporting cast, Malcolm Brogdon. Great guy, Giannis. Let's talk about the Bucks.
So the Bucks...
We know Giannis is going to Giannis.
Yes, Giannis will Giannis.
But...
I think Giannis is going to Giannis in a better way this year.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Giannis has a new coach, Mike Budenholzer.
He was upset, though,
about Jason Kidd. He was.
They had a good relationship.
They had a great relationship. But look, I think between Kidd and Prunty, and especially Prunty, they didn't do that team any justice, right?
Yeah.
I think now Giannis is going to be able to do a lot of different things, play some 5, but bring the ball up as a 5, do a lot of different things, open up some more spacing, have Giannis attack. The other big thing for him is if he's shooting threes and is incredible, he's going to be a 40% shooter. If he's even 33 or 34% from 3.
What he's doing on the other end is...
He is going to be a monster.
Yeah. Like you said, I think he's going to come out. We're going to see different parts.
Giannis is already a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was, what, 27, 10, and 5, something of that nature?
His brothers are good, too.
I mean, listen, if he develops a credible three-point shooter, you know who he becomes? He becomes a super athletic Kevin Durant, which is frightening, right? Like,
I love when you
right?
when you get like that.
That's who he becomes. Because think about how amazing Kevin Durant is, right? Arguably the first, second best player in the world.
Yeah.
Imagine, that's fine. Imagine if he had a 40-inch, 45-inch vertical. Right. You're like, wait, what? Right.
I can't even think about it.
Yes. So if Giannis could, he'll be unstoppable.
Oh, absolutely.
A little preview for you guys coming up later about Giannis. We'll talk about him later in the show. But no, I think Milwaukee's got a real chance at causing some uproar in the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference.
I agree. I completely agree. But in my opinion, too, if all does not go well, I don't think Giannis is going to be in Milwaukee much longer.
So he's under contract through 2021, I believe. But the question, what's happening now is these guys in Milwaukee must show Giannis that they're about winning and want to put a good team around him.
Yes.
So these next couple of years, this offseason is going to be critical in not only the playing style, right? Showcasing his ability, pushing him up to that All-NBA first team level, possible MVP level. What can I attract and bring it around to then move them forward?
I agree. Couldn't agree more. Let's move on to the Atlanta Hawks because they are a brand new team who has a brand new facility, who has a brand new look, and a brand new coach. So let's jump right into it here. We have Trae Young. Rookie, drafted in 2018 here, and leading the offense. You have the addition of Jeremy Lin. You have John Collins.
Breakout year.
Who you're very excited about.
I am.
And we have a new coach.
I think, here's what I think about Atlanta. You're much higher on Trae Young than I am.
I am. I'm a Trae Young fan.
I know he had that deep 3 in the preseason to win it. I saw it all. Here's what I think about Trae Young. I think the bust potential's high. I just do. I don't know what it is. It's the gut feeling. There's something. I'm like, I don't know.
You have been like this since Summer League with Trae Young.
Since before Summer League, I'm like,
I have to admit, he's felt the same way, so I can't even knock you on it.
Now, here's what the advantage that Trae is going to have. Because Atlanta they're not focused on trying to make any playoff games. So they're going to...
No, but I think their head is in the right spot.
They're trying to get the right pieces in place.
Yeah.
They're gonna let Trae succeed, right? They're gonna let him run with it, and so he's gonna have his moments where he's like, "Whoa!" He'll have plenty of those 2 for 15 shooting nights as well.
Yeah.
So
it just depends on how many of those 2 for 15 nights he's gonna have,
and how much he learns from that. And again, guys like John Collins and Taurean Prince, how do they improve, and how does that coaching staff get the best out of that crew?
Exactly.
And the question you have to also ask yourself is, Trae Young and another draft pick are going to be linked for the duration of time, Luka Doncic. Because remember, Atlanta, there's a trade to get, right? So the question is, at the end of when it's all said and done...
Yes, I did interview Trae. We're answering fan questions.
Was Atlanta right, or were they wrong to
switch it up? Yes, a lot is going to fall on Atlanta's shoulders, depending on how Trae Young leads the team, and... a lot of people may be giving them some flack for letting go of Luka Doncic, but...
Champagne, the Greek freak will come to New York. Wishful thinking, my friend.
We're doing fan questions.
Giannis Giannis doesn't love the big... I mean, he likes to visit big cities like LA and New York, but living there, that's not... Giannis isn't that type of guy. Likes to be with his family, close-knit, likes to go out and just do his own thing and not be recognized.
Very true. So we have a lot to see from the Hawks, and we'll see how it is. And it also depends how you have these rookies like Trae Young who are being given the ropes to take this team and really lead it and run with it. So that could either go really bad or it could either go really good. And this is personally what I have to say about rookies coming in and who... like how they should act and how they should emulate themselves after, or maybe watch some film from someone else. I know I'm going to sound biased, but I think that a lot of rookies should look to Donovan Mitchell. I'm serious.
We're going to get to Donovan Mitchell later.
A lot of rookies should look to Donovan Mitchell to watch old film, to see how he acts.
7-footers.
Everything.
We're going to debut a new segment. Maybe not today. Maybe on our next episode. There's a word that Jenna likes to use about certain NBA players. Maybe next episode we'll bring it up.
But I really do. I think that I think.
No, I agree.
I think Donovan Mitchell was the ideal rookie.
Donovan's a great rookie.
Attitude, persistence, consistency, everything. But that's another conversation for another time because we have more to get to. This might be a short one as well. Let's talk about the Charlotte Hornets and Kemba Walker. We kind of have to hit every single team. But no, let's talk about it here. Charlotte Hornets, Kemba Walker, and the addition of Tony Parker from the Spurs, potentially his last year in the NBA. Gerard, this is a big deal.
It is.
Tony Parker, Kemba Walker, with the Michael Jordan-owned Charlotte Hornets.
New head coach, James Borrego. Look, Borrego's from the Spurs family tree, so... Okay. He's got that going for him.
I think this is going to have to be more of a wait-and-see kind of situation with the Charlotte Hornets.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Amazing. Incredible. As an owner...
Yeah.
This team would have been so much better served for so many years. Bottoming out, getting lottery picks, and building that way. But... Michael's so ultra competitive that, he losing it drives him insane.
We talked about this. He can't lose, but the thing is, what are you doing?
Yeah,
the only get you're gonna get in the offseason is Tony Parker. No offense.
Tony Parker's at the end of his career.
That's what I'm saying. You can't take a young guy or a potential all-star. Tony Parker's going to retire after this year, in my opinion. Probably. Maybe he'll do another year. I mean, you see Manu chilling on a private jet with Tim Duncan. I mean, what doesn't get better than that? Spurs retirement is ideal.
Charlotte Hornets.
That's it. Why don't we close it there? Because I
don't see a lot. Look, Kemba. I actually feel bad for Kemba, right?
So do I. I think he should.
Because Kemba's really trying his hardest to do what he can there, but with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and
it's just a messy situation.
Nick Batum and.
Why don't we move on to a topic that is so emotional for me?
I know where we're going with this one.
The Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade's last dance. Last year in the NBA, he announced it after a long-awaited Twitter online rant of me, part of those tweets begging him to tell us what was happening. And we need to talk about it. Last dance, Dwayne Wade, I think he's going to have a terrific year per usual. I think it's just going to be him on his farewell train, and he's just going to have a good time.
Look.
It is what it is. Miami?
Look, Justice Winslow, Hassan Whiteside. Goran Dragic.
Little gems with Dwayne Wade, but,
Jimmy Butler did say that he wants to go, too.
There were minor talks between the Timber
Puppies?
the Timberwolves and the Miami Heat, but apparently all talks have stopped. Jimmy practiced on Sunday, October 14th.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
We will get to Jimmy Butler, but he did practice today, so yeah, that is what it is.
Look, Miami Heat, this is all about Dwayne Wade's last ride.
Yeah, this is it. Everybody else is going to have to take a backseat for this one. So
honestly, I mean, as an organization, the Heat, the team right now, look, as I said, they got some nice young pieces, and they do some nice things, but enough to put together a
playoff caliber team? No, not right now. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna take it.
Don't see it. Don't.
Exactly. With that being said, let's move on. We have a lot to get to. Orlando Magic, Mo Bamba.
Yeah. Mo Bamba. We love Mo Bamba.
Major rookie get, and obviously Jonathan Isaac. And I think this is going to be a little fun pairing. I think we're going to see a lot of good stuff from Mo Bamba.
I love Mo Bamba a lot. I think Mo...
Really good guy. Soft-spoken guy. Interviewed him this summer.
He wants to be good.
Longest wingspan in the NBA.
Oh, my God. You know, again, the question I ask is, do Orlando Magic know what they want to do?
No, absolutely not. My baby cousin knows what she wants to do more than Orlando Magic.
I think they're the Sacramento Kings of the East.
Don't hate on the Sacramento Kings.
I just
we'll get there in a minute.
I just don't know what Orlando is doing. Like, what?
With that being said, we're going to move on because we don't know what Orlando's doing.
No, I really like... Okay, I like Isaac. I like
pulling
Bamba.
him to get these details out.
God.
It's hard.
Evan Fournier? Is Fournier still in the Orlando Magic? Hold on, we're going to pull it up right now.
It's been a hot minute since I looked at the Magic's roster.
Yep.
What about Aaron Gordon?
What about Aaron Gordon?
Okay, his performance in Uncle Drew.
You know it's bad when we're going to Uncle Drew movies to be like...
Oh, don't you even sprinkle some hate dust on Uncle Drew.
They got Vucevic.
Because I'm coming for you. Yeah.
Yeah, Yikes.
It's gonna be okay, Orlando.
Orlando, we're excited to see Mo Bamba.
Yes.
And
yes.
if he develops.
Absolutely.
Moving on.
I have a lot of faith in Mo Bamba. Anyway, let's move on to a hotter topic.
The Wizards.
More than the Charlotte Hornets. The Washington Wizards. The dynamic duo, or not really, of John Wall and Bradley Beal. A lot of people are talking about how this pair is a little bit stale. They shouldn't be together anymore. It's kind of over. They've ran their course. Here's my thing.
Our man Champagne, really quick, he's prolific, and we appreciate you on the IG Live.
Amazing.
He says the Mo Bamba rap song by Shaq was lit.
Absolutely.
True. Remember when Mo rapped it?
Yes.
At where was it? Was it the draft or was it at?
I think it was the draft.
Or was it the photo shoot?
It might have been the rookie photo shoot.
Yeah.
Side note: Mo Bamba, great rapper. Marvin Bagley, great rapper.
We'll get to Marvin Bagley in a minute.
Oh, I know.
Don't worry.
Anyway, let's get back to the Washington Wizards.
The Wizards.
Is John Wall and Bradley Beal's relationship strained by assumption because of their halt on the court, that they can't get past a certain hump, in my opinion? You have Kelly Oubre Jr., we have all this talent, but is the dynamic duo not dynamic any longer?
Do we have all this talent?
I'm really trying to be nice
Are
here.
they that talented? Really?
I think there is some talent, I said.
No, and I know. I'm doing that to be like...
I know, I think it's hysterical. Kelly Oubre Jr., yeah.
With his Supreme sleeves, really? Kelly Oubre Jr.
Yes, so let's talk. I want to talk about these two.
Here's the problem with Washington.
Yeah, what is Washington's
John
problem?
Wall, front office is start. I don't know what's going on there. But John Wall still thinks he is the best player on that team. And
is he not?
And I think it's Bradley. I really think it's Bradley Beal.
Would I be entirely awful if I said I agree?
No. I think John, because he's the point guard and he's the leader and all these things, I think he thinks that he's the Batman of this team and Bradley Beal's his sidekick and his Robin. But no.
It's an equal match.
But if you needed someone to get a shot and score, it is Bradley.
Yeah.
Look,
great finisher too.
John Wall can't shoot. Your point guards have to be able to shoot in this NBA. He cannot shoot.
Especially with the Steph Currys of the world. So
Steph Curry, Kyrie, Harden. You have to.
I think the matchup.
Russ is a better shooter than him.
Yikes.
Right.
Yikes. I think the matchup is a little bit stale at this point. I think maybe some adjustments need to be made internally, or we need to learn how to play together better. I mean, maybe their chemistry is on point, and they're just not there yet.
Is Scott Brooks the right guy to lead them? Is it a coaching thing?
Exactly. You just don't know what the issue is, but there is something wrong with the Wizards.
Well,
they can't get past a certain point, and it's super frustrating.
I will say this, though. You know who thinks that the Wizards are going to do just fine this year, and everyone are sleeping on them and worried about Boston and Philly?
Who?
Your boy.
There's a lot.
Austin Rivers.
Oh my gosh!
Your boy Austin Rivers thinks that everybody's sleeping on us. We're so good. I'm like,
why did I forget?
Well, because he's Austin Rivers.
Love you, Austin.
There is a man who his opinion of his ability might be a little bit higher than what his actual ability is.
Okay. Alrighty.
You know.
Let's move on to another team.
But no shade. No. That's the Eastern Conference. We're done. We're done with the Eastern Conference.
Okay, guys.
Wizards, W, done.
Alrighty, yeah, there it is. That's Eastern Conference. Check us back here right after this for the Western Conference, and we will jump right into it. LA Lakers, the deep, deep West.
Woo!
And it's all right here with 7 Footers. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Follow us at 7 Footers Pod. That's with the number 7. Instagram and Twitter. See you soon.